Okay guys, one thing I want to focus on today is the idea of listening to other instruments. Don't just be a guitarist. Most important thing is to be an all-round complete musician, at least that's the way I like to think of it. And one of the best things you can do for your improvising and your phrasing is to listen to other instruments like saxophones and trumpets. And a great guy to hear is Miles Davis for some of his phrasing. In his, I think it's So What? The some really good ideas he comes in with in the solo. And a particular phrase I like to work on is the he does in the, I think in the beginning of that solo, after it starts, a bit of a and so on. But that key phrase with the D minor triad is so useful, and it's in that pentatonic shape. And yet a lot of blues and rock players just don't make use of that. And I want to focus on that today. Okay guys, that lick that Miles Davis played was a D minor triad. Now on the guitar that would be down here in the 10th position. Sounds nice, melodic and dark. You can include it in some minor solos. But I would recommend anytime you learn a new lick or a new phrase from another instrument, transpose it into a different key. So if you learn it in D, let's say we're going to put it in A, and this is actually a good way of memorizing it. For some reason it works, don't ask me why. So if we're starting that on the 5th position, you've got your minor pentatonic shape, and this phrase fits in that minor pentatonic. Now as a refresher for the people who don't know, the minor pentatonic is that's 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, and 1-4. And the phrase that Miles Davis played would be it's an A, C, E, and that's your minor triad. Just like the minor shape up here. It's the same thing. And how it goes. You can throw that into your phrasing if you're distorted, got the fucking overdrive on, you can go. You can just throw that into the middle of any kind of phrasing and it sounds good. But in the middle of that was... So I'll practice that again with a drum machine. Nice and clean. Tapping your foot. And notice how it has that bit of a syncopated feel to the rhythm. It's not straight. That's straight. But it's a bit of a nice jazzy bounce to it. Da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, even though that foot keeps tapping along with the beat and never moves. Okay guys, developing that idea a bit more with the arpeggios and the triads, really good the idea is to take a phrase that you've learnt and kind of make it your own a bit more, or look at other players who have done similar things with it and how they've developed it. And one concept I want to give to you guys is the concepts of arpeggios but playing them in a broken up way. So taking a grouping of notes and then repeating them and then taking it up a step each time. Now with that Miles Davis phrase, you have an A, C, E as we discussed. And the entire A arpeggio is right here. Nice and musical. But if you play the entire thing, like, who wants to listen to that? You know, that's just like very straight. It's kind of, you know, diatonic sounding. It's as if you're just staying with a scale or an arpeggio shape. But one thing you can do is to take those notes and break it up. Something like that. Dun, 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 dun. So, if we start on the A on the low E string, just start that to begin with the drum machine. A, 7th on the A, 8th on the low E, Now breaking that down, what's happening is that you're actually skipping the string with your right hand. And this is the tricky bit, because you're going down, up, down, and now you're skipping to the D. You're playing the low E, and then you're playing the D with an upstroke. Or just take a couple of notes of that. Let's take the 7th fret and the A string, and then the 5th fret of the G string, then the D string 7th fret to the B string 5th fret. I think Paul Gilbert does something similar to this. Does it in the Purple Haze solo and G3 tour. Really, really cool effect, and it gives you a wider melodic interval space. You know, it's like you cover more ground instead of just staying in that A minor pentatonic shape. You're actually playing arpeggios, but you're staying in the same position, and you're getting this span of notes because you're skipping the strings. A lot of cliche rock players just stay and they go from one string to the next string to the next string. Yeah, really cool phrases. Then guys go like, and they just do that all the time, and it can get a bit dull. But if you skip the strings, you can get some really cool effects. So with a drum machine, we try that one more time. Sorry, try it again. And the last one will be 10th fret on the B string, 12th fret on the high E. So that's the one I recommend just drilling over and over to begin with. And that'll be the next one. That's the 5th fret on the G string, and then the high E string 5th fret. That can be a bit of an awkward one to get your second finger in there, but it'll come with time. With a drum machine. And then the next one, 5th fret B string, 8th fret high E. in total. Maybe not, but you get the idea. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that. That was the minor triad shape from Miles Davis. Great player with some great melodies and phrasing that I highly recommend you guys all look into. Put it in another key, and if you want, try and play around with the arpeggio in different groupings and move it up and down. Hope you enjoyed it.